You may start, sir.
Yeah. Hello, my dear students. How are you all? So I welcome you all, beta, in the revision session for your upcoming examination. So we will going to revise the major topic of our paper number 8. Okay. What we will do in this major topic, we will go in depth, solve some of the few questions available in your study material. Whatever content we are discussing in this particular session will be purely based on the study material issued by the institute. So first of all, we would like to start with chapter number 2, a very, very important chapter from examination viewpoint, that is the material cost. Okay. So are you ready and excited to start the journey of our material cost, my dear students? So there are basically three elements of cost. There are basically three elements of cost. The first one being raw material, the second one being labor, and the third one being the expenses. So first of all, we are starting chapter number 2, that is known as material cost. So please get your study material along with you so that we can start this very, very important chapter, and we will try to cover each and every important point available in this particular chapter. Okay, my dear student? Have you got the study material right now? Can we start the session? My dear student, please communicate me fast. Okay, so let's start the session. The very first important topic available in page number 32 is bill of material. For a layman, bill of material means the invoice. But for us, the cost accountant, it doesn't mean the invoice. So what do you mean by bill of material? It is a document which prescribes that to manufacture a single unit, what type of raw material are required and in what quantities. What type of raw material are required and in what quantities. Let's take a very simple example related to bill of material. Suppose my client is a shirt manufacturer. My client is a shirt manufacturer. So for shirt manufacturing, what type of raw material are required? We require three type of raw material. We require three type of raw material. The first one being cloth. The first one being cloth, that is fabric. The second one is button, and the third one being thread. So to manufacture a shirt, how many meter of cloth is required? 2 meter of cloth is required. How many buttons are required? Suppose 10 number buttons are required. How many meters of thread is required? Suppose 120 meters of thread is required. For document which describe me that to manufacture a shirt, what type of raw material are required? What type of raw material are required? Along with what quantities are required to manufacture a single unit. Okay, can you please communicate if my client is a furniture maker? If my client is a furniture maker, how the bill of material will look like? So, to manufacture a furniture, what material we required? Wood. We require wood. We require nails. We require adhesive, commonly known as Fevicol, and how much quantity are required to manufacture a single piece of furniture. This complete document is known as bill of material. Okay, sure. So this is an important theory. Second important theory available in your study material is material requisition note, commonly known as MRN. There are three departments which are utmost importance for this particular chapter. The first department being the purchase department. The second department being the store department. The first one being purchase department. Second one being store department. And the third one being production department. Okay. So whenever production department require raw material for consumption, whenever production department require raw material for consumption, they will request, they will request in writing. This is very important. They will request in writing to the store department that we require such type of raw material in such quantity for return request by the production department to the store department, based on which store department will issue the raw material to the production department, is known as MRN, material requisition note. Okay, sure. Now, next important point is, now this is very, very important, my dear student. This concept is very, very, very important. Whenever the purchase department has to place a purchase order. Listen me very carefully, beta. This is the most important topic. This is the most important topic in this particular chapter. Whenever the purchase department wants to place a purchase order, before that, the purchase department has to decide what quantity has to be ordered. What quantity has to be ordered. Okay. Now, listen very carefully. So, there are three costs which are associated with, there are three costs which are associated with purchase of raw material. The first one being purchase cost. The second one being ordering cost. The third one is storage cost, also known as holding cost, also known as carrying cost. So the topic is, my dear student, how much quantity to be ordered at a time. This word is very important. At a time. हिंदी में बोले तो एक टाइम पे मुझे कितना रॉ मटेरियल परचेज करना है. एक टाइम पे मुझे कितना रॉ मटेरियल परचेज करना है. How much quantity a company should order at a time. At a time. Just for clarification, I am again clarifying that we are not deciding how much quantity of raw material we require to purchase in a year. That point we are not discussing right now. We are discussing right now in a single order how much quantity to be ordered. Whenever you are deciding how much quantity to be ordered at a time, you have to keep in mind that there are three costs associated with the order quantity. Associated with the order quantity. एक टाइम पे आप कितना रॉ मटेरियल परचेज करते हैं, उससे आपकी तीन कॉस्ट एसोसिएटेड है. द फर्स्ट कॉस्ट बीइंग द परचेज कॉस्ट, the second cost being the ordering cost, and the third being the storage cost. Let's take a very simple example of this. Suppose my annual requirement of raw material is 12,000 kgs. Okay. My annual requirement is 12,000 kgs. Now tell me, my dear student, if my order quantity is 1000 kg. What does this mean? Order quantity is 1000 kg. I have decided that whenever I order the raw material, 1000 quantity should be purchased in that particular order. So this is known as order quantity. हिंदी में बोले तो एक टाइम पे हमें 1000 क्वांटिटी ऑर्डर करना है, ठीक है. नाउ टेल मी हाउ मेनी ऑर्डर्स we have to place in a year so that the annual requirement of raw material can be purchased. Can you please tell me, my dear student, how many order should be placed in a year? How many order should be placed in a year so that 12,000 quantity can be purchased? It's very simple. I have to purchase 12,000 kg, and at that time I will purchase 1,000 kg. So I require 12 number of orders. 12 number of orders. Now let's change the situation. Suppose I have decided, suppose I have decided that the order quantity should be, that the order quantity should be 3000 kgs. What does this indicate? In a single order, I will place order quantity of 3000. So to purchase 12,000 quantity in a year, how many order should I place with the supplier? So I will place 4 order to the supplier. Number of orders. So just interpret this thing. Higher the quantity in a single purchase order, the lower will be my number of order. क्या बोलते हो बेटा? जितनी ज्यादा क्वांटिटी मैं एक बार में परचेस करूंगा, उतने मेरे नंबर ऑफ ऑर्डर कम हो जाएंगे. द हायर द क्वांटिटी आई प्लेस्ड इन अ सिंगल ऑर्डर, लोअर विल बी माय नंबर ऑफ ऑर्डर. परफेक्ट है. लोअर विल बी माय नंबर ऑफ ऑर्डर. So the benefit will be as compared to 1000 kg in a single order, we will place only 4 order in a year to purchase the complete annual requirement of 12,000 kg. So in this case, if I purchase more and more quantity in a single order, my ordering cost will be lower. My ordering cost will be lower. But there is a negative side to this aspect. If you place more quantity in a single order, so that the number of order will be on the lower side and consequently your ordering cost will be lower, but there is a negative side. The more quantity you order in a single order, the higher will be the storage cost. In this particular case, we are only to handle 1000 kg of raw material at that time. While in this particular case, we have to handle 3000 kg of raw material. So if you order less quantity, at a time, ordering cost will increase. But the benefit will be your storage cost will be lower. Vice versa, if you increase the order quantity, you can save on ordering cost, but the negative point is your holding cost, your storage cost, your carrying cost will be higher as compared to this. So there are two concepts related to this method. The first one is known as ROQ, and the second one is known as EOQ. ROQ stands for reorder quantity. ROQ stands for reorder quantity. EOQ stands for economic order quantity. Economic order quantity. So, ध्यान से सुनिएगा बेटा. If we decide through a scientific formula that how much quantity to be placed in a single order, so that our ordering cost and holding cost will be at minimum level, then that quantity is known as economic order quantity. Just listen the word very carefully, beta. Order quantity means how much quantity to be ordered at a time. And it will be economical only and only when your ordering cost and holding cost together are at minimum level. But if you divide the order quantity without any formula, if you divide the order quantity without any formula, then it is known as reorder quantity. So suppose I have decided that I will order the quantity, whatever has been decided by the scientific formula. So there is a formula to this EOQ to, just listen here. What is the formula? Just check it. 2AOC, in which alphabet A stands for what is our annual requirement of raw material. O stands for what will be the ordering cost per order. And C stands for to carry, to hold, to store one, one unit of raw material, how much cost we require to store 1 unit of raw material, 1 kg of raw material, how much holding cost we will incur, that is known as EOQ. So there are two systems prevalent in the community that if we want to decide how much quantity to be ordered so that our ordering cost and holding cost are at minimum level, then that is known as economic order quantity. But you decide the order quantity not on the basis of this scientific formula, then that is known as ROQ, reorder quantity. Okay, let's take an example. It will give you more clarity on that. The question have asked two information. What will be the economic order quantity, the first point, and the second one will be the how many number of orders to be placed in a year. Okay, my dear student, listen very carefully. Annually, I require 10,000 kg of raw material. Now, listen this point very, very carefully. Whether my order quantity is decided by the scientific formula of EOQ or not, my annual consumption of raw material will remain same. In Hindi, साल भर में जो रॉ मटेरियल लगना है उतना ही लगेगा, चाहे मैं एक बार में कितनी क्वांटिटी मुझे ऑर्डर करना है, चाहे ये दिस हैज बीन डिसाइडेड by the ROQ or by the EOQ, it makes no difference whatsoever on the annual consumption of raw material. मैं फॉर्मूले के साथ अगर जाना चाहूंगा तो भी मेरा एनुअल रिक्वायरमेंट 10,000 है. If I go without the formula, even then my annual requirement is 10,000. Both the formula is related with how much quantity to be ordered in a single time. एक समय में आपको कितनी क्वांटिटी ऑर्डर करना है, ये उसकी मेथड है भैया. So alphabetically this is known as A, annual requirement of raw material. Second one is whenever I place a order, I have to incur rupees 50, irrespective of number of units in that order. So this is known as ordering cost. Okay. And now very, very important point. I require the storage cost on per unit basis, per annum basis in rupee. This is very important. Storage cost is symbolically denoted by alphabet C, and alphabet C indicate to hold 1 unit of raw material for a year, how much amount I have to spend. Okay, so in this case, the purchase cost multiplied by percentage of holding. So the purchase cost is rupee 2 multiplied by 8%. So this is 0.16. What interpretation we will got from 0.16? To hold 1 unit of raw material, to hold 1 kg of raw material for a year, we will have to incur 0.16 rupee on each and every unit that has been stored in the warehouse. हिंदी में एक यूनिट ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल को, अपने केस में यहाँ पे केजी है, 1 kg ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल को साल भर अगर आप होल्ड करते हो, then you have to incur 16 paise. Yeah, in other word, 16 rupees. Okay. Now we will get the formula. Now the EOQ will be 2500 kg. So my annual requirement of raw material is 2500 kg. Whenever I place a purchase order, I will purchase 2500 unit at a time. So tell me, my dear student, how many times I have to go to the market so that I will purchase the entire annual requirement? Please communicate me fast. How many orders I have to place so that I can purchase the complete annual requirement? Very good, my dear student. Four number of order to be placed because I require 10,000 kg. In a single order, I am purchasing 2500 kg. So, to purchase the complete annual requirement, I have to place four purchase order. Okay, chal. Next point. चल देखिए the average annual consumption of material is 182504. My annual requirement of raw material is 18,250. The purchase cost is 36.5 while the holding cost is 20%. So I will calculate the holding cost denoted by C, 36.5 multiplied by 20%. Please give me the amount. It will be 7.3 rupee. It will be 7.3 rupee. And my ordering cost per order is rupee 50. So by applying the formula, I get 500 unit. What does it indicate? Whenever we are about to place a purchase order, we will purchase 500 unit in a single order. Please repeat with me, Vida. What does the 500 indicate? Whenever we place a purchase order with the supplier, we will purchase 500 unit in a single order. Hope this is clear to each and everyone. Chali. Now, there are some good questions on this particular topic, EOQ and ROQ. Let's first discuss those questions and then we will move further. Okay, madam. So this is good question. Please open page number 67. Page number 67. Question number 30. Page number 67. Question number 13. Page number 67. Question number 13. Okay. Now listen very carefully, beta. A super question available in our study material. This is the LDR question. You must consider this question in last day revision. Okay, a very good question. Please listen very carefully. Anil company buy its annual requirement of 36,000 units in 6 installment. Please read out this line once again. A very important interpretation will be derived from the first line of the question. My client name is Anil Company. The annual requirement of raw material is 36,000 unit. And Anil and Company right now is buying the entire requirement of raw material in 6 installment. So can you please tell me what new detail can be find out by linking this 2 point? My annual requirement is 36,000. साल भर की मेरी annual requirement of raw material है 36,000 जिसको मैं 6 installment में purchase करता हूं which I am purchasing in 6 installment. Tell me, my dear student, इससे हम क्या इंटरप्रिटेशन निकालेंगे? What interpretation we can derive? The interpretation is very clear. In the complete requirement, annual requirement is 36,000. This 36,000 annual requirement is being purchased in 6 installment. It means right now we are placing 6,000 units order at a single time. जब भी हम आज रॉ मटेरियल परचेज कर रहे हैं तो हम एक बार में 6,000 यूनिट परचेज कर रहे हैं. Is this clear to everyone? So tell me, my dear student, whether the 6,000 has been computed by the formula of under root 2 AOC. क्या आपने जो 6,000 निकाला, whether this 6,000 has been computed by the formula? No. It means 6,000 will be denoted by the alphabet ROQ, reorder quantity. That is, order quantity has been defined without applying the scientific formula. Okay. Each unit purchase cost is rupee 1 and the ordering cost is rupee 25. Okay. The inventory carrying cost, the other name of carrying cost is holding cost, storage cost, one and the same thing, is 20% of unit value. 20% of unit value. Find the total cost of the existing inventory policy. Now, my dear student, please don't write. Just listen to my words. It will give you more clarity instead of writing. This is existing policy. Whenever the question has asked me the word total annual cost, it will always consist of three costs. The first cost being the purchase cost. The second cost being the ordering cost. And the third one is the holding cost. Okay. Right now, I am purchasing 6,000 units. Right now, my ROQ is 6,000 units because the annual requirement of 36,000 is being purchased in 6 installment. It means in a single order, I am purchasing 6,000 units. Okay. So we are about to calculate the annual cost. So how many units we are purchasing per annum? 36,000 into 1. Okay. The question has itself decided that how many number of order we have placed to purchase 36,000. It has been clearly given 6 installment. So the number of order are 6. Each order will incur 25 rupee of ordering cost. Now this is very, very important. Please listen very, very carefully. This is very important, my dear student. Whenever we calculate the annual holding cost, whenever we calculate the annual holding cost, the formula will be order quantity. एक टाइम पे हमने कितनी क्वांटिटी ऑर्डर किया, ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी डिवाइडेड बाय 2 multiply by C. This will be the formula whether you are using the ROQ method, that is without applying the scientific formula, you decided the quantity to be ordered. And if you are using the EOQ, then also the formula will remain same, order quantity divided by 2 multiplied by C. For what is alphabet C? Alphabet C is to storage cost per unit per annum in rupee. Okay, so now how much quantity we are ordering in a single order? It's 6,000. Okay, the average is 3,000. And how we will compute the carrying cost per unit per annum? It's very simple. The purchase cost is 1 rupee and the carrying cost is 20%. तो 1 rupee का 20%. So ये आपका आंसर आ जाएगा बेटा 0.2. So this will be the total annual cost. total annual cost under existing policy. Now, the second requirement part of the question is how much money, how much money can be saved by using the EOQ. अगर आप EOQ method लगा लेते, if you applied the EOQ method to determine the quantity to be ordered at a time, then what will be the total annual cost? And then after that computation of total annual cost, we will be able to decide if we have adopted the economic order quantity, that will be the most cheapest option available with the industry, that whenever you are about to decide the quantity to be ordered at a time, please you have to use the economic order quantity. Okay, economic order quantity. So the annual requirement is 36,000. The ordering cost is rupee 25. The holding cost is 20 paise. So EOQ has suggested that in a single order, how many quantities of raw material should be ordered? It should be 3,000 units only. तो जरा मेरे प्यारे प्यारे बच्चों आप मुझे ये बताइए whether annual requirement of raw material will change if I order 3,000 units at a time. क्या मेरी साल भर की annual requirement of raw material change होगी क्या? And the answer is no. Whether you are using ROQ, whether you are using EOQ, annual requirement of raw material will remain same. There will be no change whatsoever. It will be 36,000 multiplied by 1. The ordering cost will also remain same, but there will be the change in the number of order. There will be the change in the number of order. My order quantity is 3,000 units, while I have to purchase 36,000 annually. What does this indicate, beta? It is indicating that एक बार में मुझे 3,000 यूनिट परचेज करना है. Annually, I have to purchase 36,000 units. So how many times I have to place the order in a year? Please determine and communicate me the answer. मुझे साल भर में कितना raw material purchase karna hai? 36,000. I have decided that I will purchase 3,000 unit at a time. So how many orders are required to be placed in a year? It's very simple. 36,000 total quantity divided by order quantity of 3,000. So 12 number of orders are required to be placed so that the annual requirement of raw material can be easily purchased. Okay. Now the formula of holding cost will remain same. Order quantity. What is the order quantity in EOQ? The order quantity in EOQ is 3,000 units divided by 2. The carrying cost is same. It is 0.2. So this will be the total amount under economic order quantity. Okay. So please check, my dear student. Right now we are incurring 36,750 rupee, while if we order through EOQ, then our total cost will be 36,600. It means 150 rupee can be saved if we order the quantity determined by the economic order quantity formula. Okay. Any doubt, beta, in this point? Please communicate to me. Any doubt in this point, beta? Can we proceed further towards the next question? If each and everyone are comfortable in this point? जल्दी बताइए मेरे बच्चों, क्या सभी बच्चे कंफर्टेबल है इसमें? चल, so let's move further. Now, I request you to solve this particular question without looking at the solution given in the study material. I'm giving you 2 minutes of time. Question number 14. The annual demand is 3200 unit. It will require rupee 6 to purchase a single unit. The purchase price is rupee 6. The inventory carrying charges between the holding cost is 25% of the purchase cost, and cost of one procurement. Procurement means ordering. The whenever we order, we have to spend rupee 150. So 150 is the ordering cost per order. We have to determine three things: economic order quantity, number of order per year, and time between two consecutive order. Time between two consecutive order. Okay, I'm giving you 2 minutes of time, my dear student. Each and every student is requested to solve this particular question on their own. Let's see. The question is very simple. The annual requirement of raw material is 3200 unit. The ordering cost is 150 rupee. The carrying cost will be rupee 6 multiplied by 25%. It means 1.5 rupee. So what will be the economic order quantity? Let's find it out. So the formula is 2 into 3200 into 150 divided by 1.5 under root करेंगे. So the EOQ is 800 units. 800 units. चलो ठीक है. Now, how many orders to be placed in a year? It's very simple. Annually, we have to purchase 3200 unit. Annually, we have to purchase 3200 unit, and 800 unit to be purchased in a single order. So 3200 divided by 800, it means annually we have to place 4 orders to purchase the complete annual requirement. Any doubt? Now, this point is very important. Time between two consecutive order. It's very simple, my dear student. In a year, we are having 12 months. In a year, we are having 12 months. Okay. Divided by how many order we are we have to place in a year? 4 order per year. It means if I place a order on 1st January 23, if I place a order on 1st January 23, this 3 month is indicating that whenever you have placed the order, the next order should be placed after 3 months. हिंदी में अगर आज मैंने ऑर्डर प्लेस किया तो अब दूसरा ऑर्डर मुझे आज से 3 महीने बाद प्लेस करना पड़ेगा. So my next order date will be 1st of April 2023. The next order will be 1st of July 2023. The next order will be 1st of October 2023, because the time between two consecutive order is 3 months. मतलब हमें हर क्वार्टर में एक नया ऑर्डर प्लेस करना है. हमें हर क्वार्टर में एक नया ऑर्डर प्लेस करना है. We have calculated the time in months. If you require, or if the question setter requires that the time should be communicated in days, then tell me, beta, what will be the difference in the formula? It is nothing. Instead of 12 months, we can take here 365 days. If the answer is to be computed in week, instead of 12 months, we will consider 52 weeks. So it doesn't matter. Okay? Sure. Now again, this is a very good question, beta, and I recommend this question to be done in LDR, last day revision question. A full question have been given by our institute, in which all the concept of EOQ and ROQ will be completely covered in this particular question number 15, available in page number 68. So my student, I am giving you 3 minutes of time to read out this question on your own, and then we will proceed to solving this particular question. Okay.
Sir, your content is not showing.
Content is not showing.
Yes, sir.
Just, just a minute, I will check. Whether it's visible now, sir?
No, sir. It is not visible.
What I've done. Sir, everything is right from my end. Student, please try to solve that question. There is some issue in the presentation screen. We are trying to resolve that one. So meanwhile, you are requested to solve that particular question on your own. Soon I will join you. सर स्क्रीन ब्रॉडकास्ट में माइक्रोसॉफ्ट टीम बस वैसा रोटेट हो रहा है,
रोटेट हो रहा है
और रेड सिंबल जो है वो ब्लिंक कर रहा है बार बार। हाँ
अच्छा, यहाँ तो वो भी कुछ भी तो नहीं आ रहा है यहाँ, तो स्क्रीन तो सब कुछ प्रॉपर शेयर हो रहा
मैंने
था
2
सर।
बार उसको एक बार डिस्कनेक्ट करके भी करा,
वो
इट इज
क्या आ
नॉट
रहा है,
वर्किंग।
माइक्रोसॉफ्ट टीम्स इज नॉट वर्किंग।
नहीं, जैसे मैं आपको बताता हूँ, मैं स्क्रीन शेयर में गया,
हम्म।
है ना, मैंने यहाँ पे
हाँ हाँ
शेयर
सर।
स्क्रीन कर दिया,
अच्छा
है
सर।
ना, मैंने स्टार्ट ब्रॉडकास्ट कर दिया, तो 3 सेकंड लेता है वो। तो जब नेट नहीं आता ना सर, तो वह सर्कल में वो ब्लिंक करते रहता है ना वो,
हाँ हाँ सर।
तो
तो
उस टाइप
नेट
से
का
वो
कोई
ब्लिंक कर
इशू है
रहा है
क्या?
वो।
नेट का कोई इशू है क्या आपको
नहीं,
वहाँ?
नेट तो फिर बिल्कुल प्रॉपर नहीं, नेट तो बिल्कुल प्रॉपर है सर। नेट होता तो अपना अपन ही अपना कनेक्शन भी डिसेबल हो जाता ना।
एक बार आप क्या लॉग आउट करके फिर लॉग इन कीजिएगा क्या?
ठीक है, मैं लॉग आउट करके करता हूँ सर।
हाँ, कोई
जी हाँ।
एंड बटन या इसमें कुछ प्रेस मत कीजिएगा।
ठीक है, सिर्फ लॉग आउट करना है ना मेरे को।
हाँ, लॉग आउट करके फिर लॉग इन कीजिए, तो आप वो एंड बटन या स्टार्ट बटन कुछ प्रेस मत कीजिएगा।
तो लॉग आउट कहाँ से होगा, ये तो पूरा अपना।
लॉग आउट वहां से होगा सर, वो जो आपका वो बाहर देखिए, वो बाहर में जहाँ पर कैलेंडर वगैरह वो आता है वहां से। सर आप यू आर विजिबल नाउ सर।
हाँ, ये अब विजिबल भी आ रहा हूँ, अब एक बार स्क्रीन शेयर करके देखता हूँ मैं,
हाँ जरूर सर।
अब हो रहा है क्या।
यू आर नॉट विजिबल अगेन सर।
तुम जैसे ही सर अपन इस पे जा रहे हैं ना स्क्रीन शेयर पे, तो वो
हाँ।
विजिबिलिटी खत्म कर रहा है फिर वो।
ये क्या आ रहा है वो?
ये देखिए, अब
स्क्रीन
मैं
शेयर में
विजिबल
कुछ
होऊंगा, जैसे ही मैंने स्क्रीन शेयर बंद किया तो मैं विजिबल हूँ फिर।
विजिबल हो। ये सर, ये क्लास के बाद एक बार हम आपको एक बार आईटी से कांटेक्ट करवा देंगे, वो एक बार आपको डेमो दे देंगे।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। जी हाँ, मैं अब स्क्रीन शेयर में जाता हूँ यहाँ पे,
हाँ।
तो मेरा वीडियो बंद हो जाता है तुरंत वो फिर। और प्रेजेंटेशन भी नहीं ले रहा है ये।
प्रेजेंटेशन क्यों नहीं आ रहा है, वो तो हमको पता नहीं चला सर।
और बहुत सिंपल सा है सर, ये तो मतलब कुछ है ही नहीं इसमें टेक्निकल अफा, सिंपल अपने को स्क्रीन शेयर करना है, दैट्स ऑल।
नर्सन, हाँ यस सर।
नहीं आया ना सर स्क्रीन शेयरिंग।
स्क्रीन शेयरिंग तो अभी आया नहीं है सर। आप एक स्क्रीन वहाँ दिखा रहा है वो वाला आ रहा है, अभी स्क्रीन शेयरिंग में कोई कंटेंट नहीं आ रहा है सर। हाँ ना, आया है सर, आपका वो स्क्रीन आया है डेस्कटॉप का।
आया है? चलो बढ़िया, गुड
हाँ ये
गुड।
आ गया सर।
तो कंटिन्यू करो। चलिए ठीक है, ओके सर। फिर इसको अपन है पूरा टेक्निकल सॉर्ट आउट कर देंगे आज ही।
ठीक है सर।
चलिए, ओके माय डियर स्टूडेंट, सॉरी फॉर द बेटा इंटरप्शन, देयर इज सम टेक्निकल इशू ड्यू टू व्हिच दैट screen is not visible to you. So now let's start question number 15. Okay. So a company manufacture a special product which requires a component alpha. So this is very important. Alpha is my raw material. And the EOQ and the ROQ is only and only related with the raw material. The following particulars are collected for the year 2015. Annual demand of alpha. Can you replace the word alpha with some other word? So actually, alpha is the raw material. Alpha और कुछ नहीं है, raw material ये. तो मेरा annual demand of alpha है 1000 unit. It will be denoted by alphabet A. Cost of placing an order. So it is alphabet O. And through this point, we can calculate alphabet C that per unit purchase cost is rupees 400 and the holding cost per unit per annum is 20%. It means 400 multiplied by 20%, it will be rupee 80. क्या चीज है बेटा 80? एक यूनिट ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल अगर अल्फा की एक यूनिट हम साल भर अपने गोडाउन में स्टोर करेंगे तो हमें 80 रुपए का खर्चा आएगा. ओके, नाउ सबसे पहले हमसे पूछ रहा है कंप्यूट द इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी. सो इट इज वेरी सिंपल. इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी इज इक्वल टू √2 multiply by 8000 multiply by 200 divided by 80. कैलकुलेट कीजिए मालिक. 2 into 8000 multiply by 200 divided by 80. So it is 200. So what is 200? 200 means whenever we are placing a purchase order, number of units to be ordered at that particular time is 200 units. Okay. Now, the supplier has offered a quantity discount to us. Let's check it out. The company has been offered a quantity discount of 4% on the purchase of alpha. The condition is you have to purchase 4,000 units at a time. My economic order quantity is suggesting that in a single order, we should place 200 units. If we are placing 200 units in a single order, the purchase price will be 400 rupees. But the supplier has given us an offer that if you order 4,000 units in a single order, you will be provided 4% discount. It means the purchase price will not be rupee 400. The purchase price will be 400 minus 4% is equal to 384. But this 384 will be applicable only and only when you purchase 4,000 यूनिट्स एट अ टाइम. जब हम एक बार में 4,000 यूनिट परचेज करेंगे तभी वो हमें इतने रुपए में देगा. अदरवाइज एनीथिंग लेस देन 4,000 इन अ सिंगल ऑर्डर will cost you rupee 400. Okay, so now the question I've asked whether the quantity discount should be accepted or not. Whether the quantity discount should be accepted or not. तो चलिए बेटा वापस से अपने को वही स्टेटमेंट बनाना पड़ेगा. EOQ और ROQ. There will be three costs associated with this: purchase cost plus ordering cost plus holding cost. Now listen very carefully, beta. There are really some very good adjustment in this particular point. So I told multiple times in this session that the annual requirement of raw material will remain same whether we are purchasing the quantity computed by the EOQ or whether we are ordering the quantity as decided by the supplier to be eligible for quantity discount. Annual requirement of raw material will remain same. In EOQ, the order quantity is 200 unit, while in ROQ, the order quantity is 4,000 unit. The order quantity is 4,000 unit. So now, my dear student, please listen very carefully. When I am purchasing 200 units at a time, I will be offered no discount. So the purchase price will be rupee 400. But if I order 4,000 units at a time, then I will be provided 4% discount, 400 minus 4%. So it will be equal to 384 rupee. 384 rupee. Clear है? चलो. So if I order 200 units at a time, then annually I have to purchase 8,000 units. Annually, I have to purchase 8,000 units. If 200 units is to be ordered at a single time, then 40 orders are required to be placed to purchase 8,000 units. Okay. And the ordering cost is 200 rupees. While Annually, I require 8,000 units. But if I purchase 4,000 units in a single order, 4,000 units in a single order, it means I have to place only two orders to get the complete annual requirement, multiply by 200 rupee. Okay. Now, the formula of holding cost is order quantity divided by 2 multiply by C. So the order quantity is 200 unit divided by 2. Here the order quantity is 4,000 divided by 2. Now this is something very, very, very important. Please find out the carrying cost per unit per annum applicable under EOQ and applicable under ROQ. I am providing you some time of 30 to 45 seconds so that each and every student can do this on their own. This is the most important point of discussion. So please, my dear friend, try to compute the carrying cost per unit per annum that will be applicable under EOQ and that will be applicable under ROQ. Chalo, my dear friend, please listen very carefully. When the holding cost is 20%, no doubt about that. And this 20% will be applied on the purchase price. On the purchase price. If I order only 200 units, if I order only 200 units, the purchase price applicable is 400. So यहाँ पे आएगा the holding cost per unit per annum will be 400 multiplied by 20%, that is 80 rupee. 80 rupee is my carrying cost per unit per annum in rupee. But my dear student, when I am ordering the quantity as decided by the supplier to be eligible for quantity discount, my purchase price is not 400 rupee. My purchase price is 384 rupee multiplied by 20% of holding cost. Hope you understand this point, beta. Na? 20% is to be applied on purchase price. Since purchase price has changed under EOQ, it's no more 400 rupee, it's 384 rupee. So 20% will be applied on whatever the purchase price is applicable for that order quantity. Okay, चलिए बढ़े आगे चलिए. Now we will study some other concept. This is whether there are more question on EOQ and ROQ. Just we will check. Okay, my dear friend. Now, please this illustration number 20. Some new is available in this particular question number 20. Okay, only I require the first point, economic order quantity, and the second point, if the supplier is providing us a discount of 5% with the condition that you have to place purchase order of 1500 units, whether it would be acceptable or not. So I'm giving you some time, beta, 2 or 3 minutes. So you are requested, each and every student are requested to first solve this question on their own without referring the solution given in the study material. Will help if you the study material material and then communicate with others. So you have to do this complete requirement part number 1 on your own in rough copy. Do not do it in fair copy. It will take time. Only I require 2 information. First information is EOQ, and the second decision I have to take whether to accept the quantity discount offer of 5% or not. Okay, so let's understand what is the most important point. Q is 2 O. Okay, is given in the question 2 into 100 rupee. We can easily compute the carrying. What is the cost of the tube? Purchase price is 500. 500 multiplied by 20%. The most important point of this particular question is computation of annual requirement of raw material. Annual requirement of raw material. Now, कहाँ पे student generally गलती करता है? Which is the area where student generally commit while determining the annual requirement of raw material? Some students consider 2000 unit. Some students consider since it's for monthly, I require annual, it is 24,000 unit. But my dear student, 2000 unit or multiply by 12, 24,000 unit is not the annual requirement of raw material. It's the demand of finished goods. While we require the annual requirement of raw material. So in this particular, we have been given that the normal usage is 100 tubes per week. Maximum usage, minimum usage has been given. So to compute the annual requirement of raw material, we require the consumption requirement of raw material. So there is a very less probability that 50 and 200 tubes are used. The more probability is related with the average one, and the average is 100 tubes per week. 100 tubes per week. So 100 multiply by 52 weeks. So it will provide you the annual requirement of raw material is 5200 tubes. बोलो बच्चों क्या ये पॉइंट आपको क्लियर है? So this is the most important point. I request each and every student to highlight this point because the only special point in this particular question is how you will compute the annual requirement of raw material. Okay, clear? Sure. Now let's move further towards some new concept. Now there is a very simple question related to inventory turnover ratio. Very simple question. Inventory turnover ratio. What is the formula of inventory turnover ratio? It means what raw material you consume during a particular period divided by average stock, divided by average stock. Okay. So, first of all, the formula is very simple, nothing special in that. The most important point is what interpretation you will derive from inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio help us to identify the fast moving raw material and the slow moving raw material. The fast moving raw material and the slow moving raw material. Higher the ratio of inventory turnover, higher the ratio of inventory turnover, the higher will be the moving of that raw material, the faster will be the moving of that raw material. So, if the inventory turnover ratio is comparatively low, it indicates that the raw material is a slow moving raw material. You don't have to store much quantity of this particular raw material. While if the raw material is a fast moving raw material, मतलब देखिए आपको एक साइकिल पता होगी बेटा, ये साइकिल बड़ी काम की है. Purchase department, store department और यहाँ पे आ जाएगा production department. Okay. Purchase department has purchased the raw material and sent it to the store department. So store department received raw material. Now store department will issue raw material to the production department. Now, store department will issue raw material to the production department. So, inventory turnover ratio is indicating the time between receipt of raw material and the time between issue of raw material. इन दोनों के बीच का टाइम जितना कम होगा, it means the material is a fast moving raw material. Okay. While इन दोनों के बीच का समय जितना ज्यादा होगा, it indicate that the material is a slow moving raw material. Okay. In this particular question, we have been given two raw material A and raw material B. First of all, we will find out the average stock. The opening stock is 10,000 unit. The closing stock is 6,000 unit. So the average stock of raw material is 8,000 unit. While in case of raw material B, the opening stock is 9,000 unit, the closing stock is 11,000 unit, 9,000 plus 10,000, 9,000 plus 10,000, sorry, 11,000, 9,000 plus 11,000 divided by 2. So the average stock of raw material is 20,000. Okay. Now, raw material used. Now, please listen very carefully, beta. Raw material used means raw material consumed. Raw material consumed. So, इन दोनों का अगर मैं टोटल करूंगा, so this is 62,000. What does 62,000 indicate? It indicates that raw material, please listen very carefully, beta, this is very important. Raw material available for consumption. The 62,000 means raw material available for consumption. Raw material available for consumption is 62,000 rupee. Raw material available for consumption is 62,000 rupee. Okay. Out of this 62,000 rupee, we have not consumed 6,000 rupee of raw material. It means 62,000 unit is raw material available for consumption. If complete raw material has been consumed, our closing stock will be 0. But if there is a closing stock of raw material, it indicates that such raw material has not been consumed during the period. So 62,000 minus 6,000 will be known as raw material consumed. So while applying the formula, we get the inventory turnover ratio is 7 times, while the inventory turnover ratio of raw material B is 2.5 times. Now, please listen very carefully, beta. 365 days divided by 7 times and 365 days divided by 2.5 times. Tell me the answer. 365 divided by 7, it's approximately 52 days. And 365 divided by 2.5, it's 146 days. That's why I'm communicating to you that the time between receipt of raw material and the consumption of raw material in case of raw material A is 52 days. It means if we purchase raw material on 1st of January 2023, raw material purchased, it has been consumed in 52 days, that is approximately 21st of February 2023. While in case of raw material B, the time interval between receipt of order and the consumption of raw material is 146 days. So we can safely assume that raw material A is a fast moving raw material as compared to raw material B. Okay, please read out this line, beta. Comment has been asked by the question. Please read out this line. This is very, very important. Okay, so high moving and low moving is in respect with inventory turnover ratio. Please write down, beta, one line. Please write down one line. The material is said to be, the material is said to be a fast moving raw material. The material is said to be a fast moving raw material if the inventory turnover ratio, if the inventory turnover ratio is on higher side. If the inventory turnover ratio is on higher side. Okay, sure. Now this is a question related to, whenever, और दूसरे शब्दों में landed cost of raw material. The concept is our factory is situated in, suppose, Kolkata. कोलकाता ना लेके अपन वेस्ट बंगाल ले लेते हैं, वेस्ट बंगाल. While our supplier is in Tamil Nadu. Okay. So what will be the landed cost of raw material? What we are trying to calculate, what will be the landed cost of raw material? So the factory is situated in West Bengal, while the supplier is in Tamil Nadu. So the first cost associated with the raw material is whatever payment you are making to the supplier, payment to supplier will be our first cost. The second will be the transportation charges. The second will be the transportation charges from Tamil Nadu to West Bengal. Second will be the transportation charges. Third will be when the goods are received in our factory, the loading and unloading charges. The loading and unloading charges associated with that will also become part of cost. Next, we will take no risk, so we will insure our goods. Transit insurance, it's not the stock insurance, it's the transit insurance. जब मेरा गुड्स तमिलनाडु से वेस्ट बंगाल में आ रहा है तो ऑन द वे अगर मेरे गुड्स को कुछ भी डैमेज हो जाता है फॉर वॉट एवर रीजन आई हैव टेकन अ इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी फॉर दैट, दैट इज नोन एज ट्रांजिट इंश्योरेंस. ऑन द वे तमिलनाडु से वेस्ट बंगाल तक आते आते अगर गुड्स को कुछ हो जाए, that is known as transit insurance. And now one very important point, GST. Just think over it, beta, whether for a manufacturer, GST paid on input, GST paid on input, that is GST paid on raw material, whether it's a cost or not. Think over it, then I will communicate you. Whether GST paid on input, that is raw material, is a cost or not. The answer is very simple, my dear student. If ITC is available, what is ITC? Input tax credit. If available, then whatever amount of GST you have paid on raw material is not a cost, because although you have paid the raw material, but that is the refundable amount that will be refunded to you indirectly in the form of ITC, input tax credit. So always assume, unless otherwise stated, that the GST is refundable. But there are certain conditions in which GST is non-refundable. That is, there is no ITC available, no input tax credit available. If I have paid the tax on my raw material, but no ITC available, then that GST paid on raw material will become part of my cost. Okay, चलिए. So ये point अपने को यहाँ पे discuss करना है regarding the landed cost of raw material. Let's read out the question first. The particulars is related to 1200 kg of a certain raw material purchased by a company during June were as follows. Okay. Lot price quoted by the supplier and accepted by the company for placing the order. If we order 1000 kg, the cost will be 22 rupee. If we order between 1000 to 1500 kg, the cost will be 20. Between 1500 to 2000 kg, the cost will be 18. And this is a trade discount. And this is a trade discount. Trade discount का मतलब होता है बिना हमारे कुछ बोले every customer is eligible for such discount. Every customer is eligible for such discount. So first of all, my dear student, tell me, I am purchasing 1200 unit. Which price is applicable? 22, 20 or 18? Which price is applicable to me? 20 rupee of price is applicable to me because I am purchasing between 1000 to 1500 kg. For 20 rupee of raw material multiply by 20, 1200, it's 24,000. But I will receive trade discount. What is the quantity of trade discount? 20%. So the purchase cost that is being payable to the supplier is 19,200. मुझे 19,200 रुपए मेरे सप्लायर को देना है. चलो ठीक है. Now second point, additional charges for container is 10 rupee per drum of 25 kg. मतलब the packing charges is rupee 10 and in a single packing 25 kg will be packed. So I am purchasing 1200 kg. Can you please tell me how many containers I require for this? Because for every 25 kg of raw material, I require one container. So for 1200 kg of raw material, how many container I require? जल्दी बोलो बेटा, जल्दी बोलिए, जल्दी. Very simple. 1200 divided by 25. So I require 48 container and each container will cost me rupee 10. But I will return this container. I will return this container. And when I return this container, I will be given the credit of rupee 8. Just think over it, beta. You have spent rupee 10 and you have received rupee 8. So what will be your cost related to container? The amount that is non-refundable. And what is the amount that is non-refundable? 2 rupee. So 48 drum multiply by 2. So it will be 90 ड्रम चार्जेस, है ना. तो पहले ही आ गया अपना टोटल में, बाद में उन्होंने इसका क्रेडिट दे दिया होगा. तो यू कैन डू ऑल्सो नेट 480 माइनस 384 करिए. 480 minus 384, it is 96 rupee. So this is one way, 480 minus 384. Another way is for every drum you require 2 rupee. So 96 rupee is the final amount of container. Okay, chalo. GST is 12% on raw material and 5% on drum. Check karte whether GST is available or not. Total freight paid by the purchaser. Purchaser means our client. It will be added. Insurance is 2% on net invoice value. Net invoice value paid by the importer. Okay. And store overhead is 5% on the total purchase cost of raw material. So in this question, they assume that the GST is non-refundable. Therefore, they have added in the bill amount. Otherwise, if it is refundable, it will not become part of our cost. Okay? Clear हो गया बेटा पहला point आपको? Any doubt in this point? Please tell me. Any doubt in this point? Please communicate to me. Can I proceed further? चलिए. No. Next question. Let's do some unfold question in this chapter. A very, very important chapter, beta na. बहुत important chapter. चलिए. Now I am giving you some time, 3 to 5 minutes. Please solve this particular question on your own. Please solve this question. On a rough page, I am giving you 3 to 5 minutes. Because without your participation, beta, the lecture will be a boring one. Na? It will not benefit you. Unless and until you try and you will not be able to identify your mistake. And if once you identify your mistake, then it will not be repeated in the main examination. And that only matters. Last 2 minutes are available, beta. Please try to solve this question on your own, and then we will start discussing. And after that, you will be identify where you went wrong. Okay, my dear friend, now I'm starting this point. So, my purchase cost, my purchase cost is rupee 10. Okay. And the annual requirement is, that is denoted by A, if 2000 quantity. I will be able to compute fee if there is no discount. If there is no discount. So my purchase price will be rupee 10 multiplied by 10%. So it will be rupee 1, and it will be rupee 9.7. If I purchase 2000 units in a single order, I will be able to get 3% discount. So rupee 10 minus 3% will be equal to 9.7. So if there is a discount, if there is a discount, then it will be rupee 9.7 into 10%. It will be equal to 0.97. क्लियर है? चलिए आगे आगे हमें दिया है ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट, हमें दिया हुआ है व्हाट इज द ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट, इट विल बी rupee 40. ठीक है. Now we have to evaluate this proposal whether to accept the quantity discount of 3% or not. So first of all, my dear student, we have to calculate the economic order quantity. Let's calculate the economic order quantity. 2 into 2000 multiply by 40 rupee of ordering cost divided by 1 rupee of carrying cost per annum. So it will be 400 unit. So the scientific formula is suggesting that you should order only 400 units in a single time. Okay. So now we will make the comparison. If we order through EOQ quantity, that is 400 units, and if we order through ROQ quantity, that is 2000 units. So what will be the difference in this? First of all, purchase cost plus ordering cost plus holding cost. Purchase cost is 2000 quantity multiply by 10 rupee. No discount will be offered by the supplier. While if I purchase 2000 units in a single order, I will get 3% discount. So my purchase cost will be 9.7. Okay. How many order I have to place? 5 order. 2000 unit annual requirement. In a single order, I will purchase 400 unit. So 2000 multiplied by 400 will be equal to 5 order. Ordering cost is rupee 40. While here only one order I have to place, since my annual requirement is 2000 unit and the ROQ is also 2000, so only one purchase order is required to be placed, 40 rupee. And then 400 divided by 2 into rupee 1, 2000 divided by 2 into 0.97. Now let's compute the total cost associated with this. So it will be 20,400. 970 plus 40, it's equal to 110. So it will be 1,95,010 rupee. और ये कुछ अलग आ रहा है ना 2000 multiply by 9.7. No. 19,400 plus 40 plus ये हो गया दोनों का टोटल 19,440 plus 2000 divided by 2 into 0.97. So 19,440. So it's 20,410 rupee. So whether, my dear student, you will accept the supplier offer of purchasing 2000 units in a single time? No, because the excess amount you will be spending is rupee 10. The total cost under EOQ is the total cost under EOQ is 20,400, while the total cost under ROQ is 20,410. Extra rupee of 10 will be incurred if you order the quantity offered by the supplier. Clear है? चलिए सेम आंसर आ रहा है तो हम ये एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे. चलिए ठीक है मालिक. Now let's solve question number 23. Again, I am giving you beta 3 to 5 minutes of time to solve this last question of today's session, question number 23. रफ कॉपी में सॉल्व करिए बेटा पूरा कंप्लीट क्वेश्चन यू टू सॉल्व ऑन योर ओन एंड देन आई विल डिस्कस विद यू. Last 2 minutes, beta. Please, please, please put your 100% efforts in solving this question because this is the most important topic of this particular chapter, material cost. If you have strong grip on this particular topic now, you can rest assured that whatever question will be asked in the examination, you will be able to clearly crack that one. Okay, my dear students, I am starting this question. Please pay the attention. So, what information we have been given? The first information where some of the student might able to commit the mistake if 4,000 unit, if not the annual requirement of raw material, 4,000 unit, if the monthly requirement of raw material, while we require the annual requirement of raw material. So the very first point is 4,000 units of raw material multiply by 12 months is equal to 48,000. Now, please listen very carefully. बेटा ये जो 48,000 है, it is not the raw material, it is the finished goods. And we will sell 48,000 finished goods. Please read out this line very carefully. G Limited produces a product. G Limited produces a product which has a monthly demand. तो जो 4,000 यूनिट है, it is the monthly demand of finished goods. It is not the monthly requirement of raw material. But here luck will play a very important role because in the second line it is given for every finished goods, 1 unit of component is required. Even if some student misunderstood as raw material, their answer will be correct, but they are conceptually wrong because in the first line, 4,000 units multiplied by 12 will be the 48,000 units of demand of finished goods. And in the second line, हर finished goods को बनाने में चूंकि 1 unit raw material की लगती है, इसीलिए अब ये multiply by 1 unit of component per unit. 48,000 components हमें साल भर में required है. Hope you understood this point, बेटा. Hope you understood this point. बहुत special point था इस particular question का ये, ठीक है. Now the next point is ordering cost is 120 and holding cost is rupee 20 multiply by 10% is equal to 2 rupee. ओके सबसे पहले हमसे EOQ पूछा है. So what will be the EOQ? EOQ is equal to 2 into 48,000 multiplied by 120 divided by 2. So EOQ is 2400 units. तो इसका मतलब है ये बोल रहा है एक बार में कम से कम और ज्यादा से ज्यादा How much quantity you have to purchase? You have to purchase only 2000 quantity. Clear है? चलिए. Now, if the minimum lot size is 4000 unit, हमने बोला कि हमें एक बार में 2400 unit purchase करना है, while the supplier is saying that the minimum quantity they will supply is 4000 unit. So what if the extra cost the company has to incur? Means वही हमें वापस से बनाना है बेटा, EOQ और ROQ. ROQ is 4000 unit, EOQ is 2400 units. Clear? Purchase cost plus ordering cost plus holding cost. Annually, you will purchase 48,000 unit, multiply by 20. 48,000 multiply by 20. So, if you order only 2400 unit, annually you have to purchase 48,000 unit. For how many order is required to be placed? 20 order, and each order will cost you 120 rupee. While if you purchase 4000 unit in a single order, the number of order to be placed in a year is 12 multiplied by 120, and this is 2400 divided by 2 into fee is 2 rupee. Here 4000 divided by 2 into 2. So it will be the total annual cost, और इन दोनों का difference कराएगा. What will be the amount that you will incur? What will be the amount that you will incur if the supplier insists on supplying 4000 units at a single time? Okay, चलिए. और कैरिंग कॉस्ट पूछा है. सो दिस इज द कैरिंग कॉस्ट. इसका टोटल आ जाएगा मालिक आपका 2400 डिवाइडेड बाय 2, 2400 divided by 2 into 2. So this is the answer. The minimum carrying cost is 2400 rupees. Okay, my dear friend. So आज का जो हमारा सेशन था बेटा, इसमें कुछ टेक्निकल ग्लिचेस थी. We will 100% assure you that the same will not be repeated in the future section. Okay. The video is not there, so sincere apologies from my behalf that there is a technical issue and we will not be able to resolve in due course. Okay, and thanks a lot, beta. You keep your patience. Even the video is not available based on the presentation and audio. You have listened it very carefully. I will give you a clap for that, beta. Very good, very good. Keep it up. In the next session, definitely our audio is perfect, presentation is perfect. The video has some technical issue. It will be definitely resolved before the next session. Okay, my dear friend, in the next session, we will going to start some more important topic. So I think in the second session, whenever it has been scheduled, I will try to cover this two important chapter in our second session. The second point is employee cost and the overhead. These are the most important topic. So in the next session, we will cover the revision of employee cost along with the overhead topic. Okay. So the next session is very crucial for from your examination viewpoint. Please join us on that particular scheduled date. We will cover two chapters, employee cost in approximately 40 minutes, and then in the remaining 80 minutes, we will cover the some lengthy topic of our particular subject, paper number 8, that is the overhead. Till then, beta, thank you for watching the session. God bless you all. Meet you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.